Okay, today's project. Why is this fuzzy? Today's project is to hook up this Wippro 5 to 8,000 kilowatt Chinese diesel air heater. I've had a couple of these things, not the Wippro, and I've actually had one of these all-in-one that I could never get the remote to work. I could only turn it on and off. I used that all last year, but I could never get this. It had a real weird system. It had a rotary dial on the front, and it was just stupid, but it would go on and off. And that's all I really needed, so I dealt with that all last winter. But this one is supposed to be a real good one. I watched a YouTube video. The guy said it got 30 hours out of a gallon of gas on low. And I've got it in this camper, which will probably be on, I don't know, I live in this FedEx van. Of course, last year I had a smaller, it was an 82 Chevy Cube van that I lived in. I just bought this thing about 4 or 5 months ago. Kind of a mess inside, but next spring I'm going to take those side shelves off, give myself an extra, what do you think, 2 feet on each side, extra 4 feet of space sideways, and I can put some plastic shelves in there like I do with my old van. This thing is humongous. It's almost twice the size of my old van. So, but anyhow, I've got this thing. I just took the cover off and I hooked it up to this little 20 gold mate 20 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery I bought last year, I guess. I run my camper on this 330 watt panel. See that white Hummer over there? I've got another one exactly the same solar panel hooked up on the roof of that, and that's just running a small fridge in there. But this thing runs my van. I got my 42-inch computer screen in there. That's about all I run with it. I got another portable fridge up there that runs off of these batteries. And that's a good setup. 30 amp EP Ever. Is that how it is? EP Ever or something like that. MTTP. Solar charge controller. I got a 2,000 watt Chinese freaking inverter. The fans kick on all the time. They make a lot of noise. And I don't think it pumps, I don't think it supports 2,000 watts at all. It's supposed to be 2,000, 4,000, but I can't run shit on that. But I got these two MAESPEAK Chinese 100 amp hour batteries, lithium iron phosphates. I got both of them hooked up in, let's see, that would be series, or no, that would be parallel, because they're both 12 volts. My old one I had two 6 volts in series. I guess that's how it worked. And that was 12 volt, two golf cart batteries I had. They lasted like 5-6 years, so they were good, but they were just big, heavy lead acids. Anyway, the system seems to work pretty good. I bought this thing, this diesel heater last year. I've got like 4 or 5 of them. But I've used one in that same old van. It was just one of the old kind that you had to cut the floor out and all that. That one lasted a couple years. It was fantastic. Everything worked fine. After 2 years, I took it apart to clean it. It was super clean inside. So I had no complaints whatsoever about that. except I wanted one that I could use the remote control and everything, and that remote didn't work very well. Anyway, I tried the other all-in-one last year, and like I said, the rotary dial on that was ridiculous, so I just used it to survive. And this year, I mean, it's September, what, 8th, 9th, somewhere around there, no, the 8th. I'm in Oregon. It's about 65 degrees right now. It's nice, but it's gonna get down to the 30s and 40s in the next few, that 40s next week. So anyway, just hooked this thing all up. Just set it down there. I set it up on a couple blocks, and I hooked the exhaust pipe up. I hooked up the battery to it. And this thing is showing some kind of life, which is always good. I threw in some diesel. I'm not sure how to get I'm not sure about this one. I gotta go and watch a video on how to prime it. I imagine if I just push the start, it's gonna do something. So I can probably just do it. Maybe I'll try that. I don't like reading directions or. Let's see what that does. I can't see. It's hard to see with the. Oh, but it's starting. I feel the air blowing out here. I can't. I guess, oh, the little fan light is on. Blue fan light. I can't see if it's spinning or not. I guess it's spinning. I can't read what it says. But we'll just let it do what it wants to do the first time, and then I'll figure out how to set this thing. Hear a little hum, high-pitched hum. What this thing? I wonder if this remote even has batteries in it. Usually there's a little red light. Oh yeah, the red light works on the remote. Wow. I don't think this freaking camera focus is worth a damn. Oh, I hear the fuel pumps going, so I can't tell whether there's any fuel in the lines yet. Guess we'll find out. Actually, I think it. Okay, well, there's smoke coming out of the exhaust. When it fires up, that exhaust usually clears up. Oh man, I don't want that blowing freaking exhaust right inside my van. Of course, the wind just started blowing the other way, right into my van. The air is not hot coming out of the heater part, but the exhaust looks like it's clearing up. The exhaust is definitely cleared up. a little tiny bit warm. Sounds like the jet engine is winding up. Exhaust is clear. Oh yeah, definitely warm coming out of there. I'm just going to let it run for 10 or 15 minutes and see. Wish I can't even see that display screen here. I can't even see what it says, if it says anything. But it's working. It's definitely working. Yeah, it's coming out warm now. I don't have the intake hooked up. It's just intaking what it wants. I have the exhaust, so it's not sucking the exhaust into the intake, so I think that should be good. What does that thing say? It's pretty warm. Does it still say it's pretty warm? My glasses can't see crap. And I also don't know how to synchronize or calibrate these remotes. I don't know how the hell to do that. If I touch the off, it's going to shut it off. If it does shut it off, well, I'll wait until I want to shut it off to try that. But it's definitely blowing out heat. Lots of heat. No exhaust. What I'm planning on doing is having this inside the back of the camper. I gotta roll copper coils around this and hook water to it and have about maybe 2 feet of that on the interior of the van before I drill the hole and exit it, so I can recover a lot of that heat into my hot water for a hot water heater, and then it'll exit the van and exhaust outside. That's my plan. But this seems fine. Seems fine. Okay, what do I got here? 13 minutes, 14 minutes of video. Alright, well that's about it. I'm not gonna... I guess I could show if this thing actually shuts it off, this little remote thing. I guess I got no reason to really let it keep on going. I guess we'll try it. Wow, the remote worked. This little remote already worked. Didn't have to be calibrated or mated or whatever. It shut it off. Holy moly. Wasn't really expecting that. Hope it shuts down properly. I guess we'll wait another couple minutes. Still blowing a little air out, but the main fan shut down. but it's blowing air out like it should to cool off the heating chamber and the electronics in there and all that good stuff. What the hell is my... Oh, I see. My phone, if I aim it into the middle, in between those two, it starts getting the exposure for the bright stuff, and it darkens everything else out. Well, it did until I just touched that. Yeah, there it goes. That's weird. Okay, so that's where I wanted to. Still blowing air, which it's supposed to do, for a couple minutes till it cools down. Yeah. Now it's ramping up some air. Okay, now all I gotta do inside is just decide where I want to drill a hole in the floor. I think I'm gonna have the air intake from the inside of the van. Let's see which way works better. If you get air from the inside of the van, it's already warm, or warmer than the outside. So what does that do? Doesn't matter. I bring the 0-degree air from outside, or I bring the 40-degree air from inside. Just makes it work harder. So I'm just gonna bring it from the inside. I don't know, it makes sense to me. I'm no physics major. But I knows what I like. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I'm a 78-year-old Vietnam vet. I'm a disabled vet. I've been homeless for, I don't know, 15 years. I live in my vans. I like living in my vans. I've got the storage facility here in Oregon that I keep with a lot of my... I have a son, 27-year-old son. He's a BMW guy, and he keeps his cars and his tools here mainly, and I'm just here. I'm planning on going down. I have some property down in Arizona. I'm leaving next week. I have a VA appointment on the 10th of September, and I plan on going down to my property right after. Like I said before, I've got that 06 Hummer over there. That's what I'm taking because you need a vehicle that'll get you onto some rougher property. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting, of course, I'm not hooking this up. This is going in my van here, and I'm not taking my van. I'm just going to stay for a couple weeks, maybe live out of my Hummer in a tent. Maybe I will take this. I don't think I'll need it, but maybe I will. I'll just shut down. Okay, no more air coming out of here. Seems like it's 100% success. I didn't turn it on with that. But that was the initial turn on. I didn't prime the pump. I didn't prime anything. And it just fired right up. Perfect. Wow, that little remote's going to be nice. Got to learn how to use it now. All right, that's all. See y'all. Bye.